The Nothing Phone 2 is here, which means it's time for another practical review. So I've been using this phone as my daily driver for about a week now, and you know what? It's really good. Like there's a few like nitpicks which I'm gonna go through, but it's a great phone. And if this is your first time seeing one of my practical reviews, then this is not a full-fledged, in-depth, deep dive of, very like specific, specifications and testing. It's more of just me and how I've experienced the phone as, a fairly normal dude. Now, first of all, I want to talk a little bit about the design. It is actually slightly bigger than last year's Nothing Phone 1, and the back glass is actually curved a little bit, which is kind of cool. I think I kind of like it. And then of course we have this new color variant. Last year we had a white and a black Nothing Phone 1, but this year we have a white and a dark gray Nothing Phone 2. And then there is also a bit of a change to the glyph interface. If you look at it, it's like the same shape, but there's more gaps in it. So I think it looks better. I like the gaps. It looks cool. And because there are more gaps in it, that means that there's more individual light sections, which gives it the ability to create more complex animations. And this one on the back is able to be used as a progress bar for certain apps. Like right now you can use it in Uber Eats to track the progress of your order, or you can actually also use it as a volume indicator. So like if you have your phone face down and you're listening to music, you can turn up your volume and it'll show you where your volume is at. So that's kind of cool. But as for my actual daily usage, there's things that I really like about this phone, and there's also some things that I don't like so much, but most of those are probably just nitpicks and we'll get to them. But I think let's start with the good things. So first up is gonna be performance, and this is something that I was hoping they would fix because I had the opportunity to use the Nothing Phone 1 for a little bit and I actually loved it, but like the one thing that kind of like bogged it down was the processor, because it was like a great phone. It's cool, it looks nice, it's fun, it's interesting, it's unique, but I don't know, it just felt a little bit slow. Even though it has, a 120 hertz display, which does feel smooth, it just felt like it was falling behind sometimes when doing different things on the phone. But I'm glad to say with the Nothing Phone 2, we now have a flagship processor, which is the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. Now, no, it's not the most recent flagship processor, which, would be the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, but it's like the second most recent flagship processor, and it is great for this. And then we have probably what is one of the most important things when it comes to smartphones, and that's battery life. And you know what? This phone probably has the best battery life I have ever experienced on a phone. Like the other day, I legitimately got over 9 hours of screen on time. That is the most I have personally ever seen on one of my phones. I mean, even right now, I've been up since about 8:45 a.m. It's now almost 9:30 p.m. And I haven't used my phone a ton today, but I'm still at 55%, like over 12 hours later. And then we have something that I just think is really cool, and that is the brand new Nothing OS 2.0. Because now we have these new custom Nothing widgets and a custom Nothing icon pack, which just fits the whole aesthetic of like the Nothing brand, and it makes it really cohesive. And something that's really cool about this icon pack is that it applies the icon theme or whatever to literally every single icon. And actually, when I first got this phone, it wasn't like that. It was like a normal icon pack where, some icons would be missing, which, is kind of annoying. But they added an update that added some sort of like algorithm that generates a custom icon for every app, no matter what app it is. And then this is also really cool, and something that I don't know why Android doesn't have by default, but thank you Nothing for adding it, is you can natively add custom icon packs in Nothing OS 2.0. So like typically, if you want to be able to add a custom icon pack to Android, you have to go and download a whole separate launcher, and that's actually what I typically do. I usually use Nova Launcher to be able to do my own like whole custom home screen setup. But I'm not even using Nova Launcher with the Nothing phone. I'm using the default Nothing OS 2.0, and you can just download your own icons. It's amazing. I don't like, please Android, can we add that by default? Thank you. And then the widgets are also super cool. They obviously match the Nothing aesthetic super well, but then here's another cool thing. You can add them to your lock screen. And for some reason, this isn't something that's like super common in Android phones these days, but I'm glad that Nothing added it to their device because like, why not? It's cool. And it even like when you turn off the phone and it goes to the always on display, it even like does like a black and white monochrome version of your widgets. So that's pretty cool. And so we have great performance, great battery life, and great software. And that's, you know, mostly all you can ask in a phone, except maybe also the cameras, which kind of leads me to the things I didn't like so much about this phone. Although I will say this is kind of a positive and a negative, so we're just gonna put it right in the transition between the good things and the bad things. So yeah, first of all, it gives great detail. Like you can get some crispy looking photos with this camera, but also the dynamic range is not the best. So like typically when smartphones take photos, you know how like it'll be like super blown out in the sky, but then you take the photo and then the photo processes, and in the final result, the sky looks, you know, blue. You can actually see details in it. And this phone does do that to an extent, but not enough. So for example, you can see this is what I saw in the viewfinder of this photo, like the sky is blown out. And then the final image looks like this. And you might be saying like that looks exactly the same, and it almost does. If you look closely, there is a bit of a difference. There is a little bit, you know, it's a little bit better, but not that much. Yeah, it doesn't do great with dynamic range all the time. And then another thing with the camera is I had this weird problem where a couple times, and this was when I was recording video in 4K, so maybe this is just with 4K, I don't know. But I like would record a video, and right in the first like second of the video, there would be a hitch, like it would like drop frames. But then the video would go smoothly. So it's like almost like the phone wasn't ready to record video, and it's like, oh, I'm recording video, and like it wasn't ready. And so there's a little hitch there. So that was interesting. And then another thing with the camera, and this is kind of weird, and I actually haven't been able to replicate it to like show it on camera to you guys, so you'll just have to believe me. But specifically yesterday, and I think also one other time before, I was trying to take a picture to actually like send to somebody, to like show somebody something. And I would take the picture, then I went to my texting app, and then I went to go send the picture, and it literally just was not there. Like legit, the picture did not exist. And so I was like, okay, let me try again. I go take a picture, go to my texting app, go to choose a photo. It's not there at all. I go into my gallery, photo's just not there. It took the picture, but then didn't take the picture. I don't know how to explain it. And I think I did it like 3 times where it literally just didn't save the photo. And so I ended up just taking the picture, like waiting there to make sure the photo was taken. And then I went and it was there and it worked. But that was weird. I don't know if I've ever had that on any other phone. Okay, I just have a few more things, but these ones are kind of nitpicks. So, you know, there's really not that much bad with this phone, but these are some things that bothered me a little bit. So yeah, let's go through them. First of all is the fingerprint scanner. It works good. It's just really low. Like it's the same actually as the Nothing Phone 1, like the same position. It's just really low. I don't know why they don't bring it higher because my thumb does not naturally rest right there. It's kind of awkward. And next up is the icon pack, which I said I love. So you're like, why are you saying you don't like that? I do like it. I like it a lot, but sometimes when I open my folder on my home screen, it doesn't load all of the icons. It'll just show like a blank circle. Okay, and this is the last nitpick, and this one actually does kind of bother me a good amount, and that's that you can't have labels on folder icons, but not home screen icons. And so basically what I mean there is I don't want labels on my icons on my home screen because, you know, I want it to look clean and not have those. But the apps that I have in my home screen folder, I do want icons on because I'm not as familiar with the position of all of those apps. as I am with the ones on my home screen. And so sometimes it takes a little bit more effort to like look for the specific app I'm looking for because there's no label. I just have to look at the icons. So I wish you could add labels to the folder, but not the home screen. But no, they give you the option one or the other. You have all icons, all labels on or all labels off for the home screen. But anyways, that's pretty much all I had to say about this phone. I actually really like it. Like, it's a great phone. There are a few like bugs, a few quirks, a few nitpicks that I had, but generally speaking, this phone is really good. If the camera was a bit better, that would be great, but besides that, it's fantastic and I love it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you have any other questions about the Nothing phone, feel free to leave them down below, and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.